beloved 8% Hard AF Seltzer is now live in over 2,500 locations across the United States. We're now available in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Ohio, Idaho, Illinois, Michigan, Montana, Oregon, and Texas. Go to hardafseltzer.com today, click on the store locator, enter your city or zip, and find the nearest location closest to you.
Live from our studios in Austin, Texas, this is Drinkin' Bros Fake News with Ross Patterson, Dan Hollaway, Papa G with the traffic,
How you feel?
Not good.
Yeah?
field reporter Hot Bob, and Delco Dan with sports. Welcome to Fake News.
Yeah! Welcome to Drinkin' Bros Fake News, everybody. Bringing you the realest, fakest news of the week. If you're asking yourself why we're early today, well, it's Halloween. We know a lot of you guys have kids out there. They're doing a half day in Texas. It's school. They're off tomorrow. Everybody's getting ready to go trick-or-treating. So we're going a little bit early today.
The days off school situation is out of fucking control.
Isn't it nuts? We never had this as
Halloween?
kids. We never had this as kids.
Well, All
Ever.
Saints Day tomorrow. You're
What?
supposed to be a good Catholic boy.
I did get All Saints Day off because I went to Catholic school.
What is All Saints Day? Do you know what that is?
It
November
is
1st.
just the Catholic Church's response to Halloween. It's like, well, they're going to be doing something, so we also need to do something. Protestants do it too. They call it different things. It's not All Saints because there are no saints in Protestantism. But growing up in a Protestant church, we had our own version of Halloween as well, and it's basically people that are afraid of ghosts.
Oh, no shit.
It's like the church doesn't want people talking about demons and ghosts and shit like that because that's not canon. So,
Well, then the second is All Souls Day.
yeah.
And then the night before Halloween is Mischief Night.
Oh, look at that. A lot of mischief going on tonight.
Yeah.
A lot of mischief going on Tuesday night here in Austin, Texas. Join us at WTF Bar downtown on West 6th Street. We will be going live for the election show at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, across the YouTube and Twitter and all that fun stuff.
I think the doors will open at 6.
Will
Right.
it? I don't know. You got to talk to the guy. Usually they open up earlier.
They'll be open all day. I'm
Yeah.
just saying for this event, I think 6:30 is probably a good time to show up.
Come whenever you want. When we chatted with them, they were like, "Hey, we got plenty of room for this,
Yeah.
so we're good."
And I would say
no need for tickets. We were thinking about tickets. Maybe it was like, no
Yeah,
need. Like,
yeah.
it's just come and drink.
I would say take it slow.
Yeah,
It's going to be a long night, and 8% is double what you're used to drinking. I want everybody to make it through the entire night and have a good time.
exactly.
Like, if you want to drink your ass off and black the fuck out, do that too. I don't give a shit. This is America. You can do what you want.
Yeah.
Just saying, if you want to enjoy everything, just from our experience with these events, take her easy.
Take her easy because all the new flavors taste like liquid Jolly Ranchers, so you don't even taste the alcohol. My parents are in town. They came over last night when they got off the plane and from the airport and everything else, and they were like, "Hey, we're dying to have the new flavors." My mom had like 2 of those green apples.
Oh, she's not much of a drinker.
She goes,
either.
"This doesn't even taste like alcohol."
Yeah.
And I was like,
Did
"No."
she black out?
Pretty close.
Yeah.
She went 9-9 right about right about an hour and a half after.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I told her, and I was like, "Hey," she goes, "Dude," and I go, "Yeah, I know. It's dangerous."
Now, your mom, I don't think, has ever said the word dude in her life.
She did last night. No lie. She did last night. She was like, "Dude, this is insane." And I was like, "Mom, how many of you had?" And she goes, "I don't know. But these are going down so easy." I'm just saying, if it happened to my mom and she blacked out last night, it'll happen to you. I can promise you that. So get there early. We will be going live, all the other stuff. Christina Bobb, Trump's lawyer, is our co-host that night. Jared Taylor, Uncle Laser, and Bobby Flacco are doing the national anthem. Street Gonzo will be there if he's out of the hospital.
I don't care.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Speaking of getting places early, so Army is playing Air Force this weekend. Mm-hmm. Bob, go to my Twitter really quickly. So some cadets from West Point snuck into the Air Force Stadium and did this. You have to zoom in a little bit. So they snuck into Air Force's stadium and wrote CH in front of air. It's a pretty good prank.
Share Force. Wow, give that a round of applause there. Yeah. I love to see it. Mm-hmm. I love to see it. I love that Army's great this year, too. Mm-hmm. And they got a really good team. Looking forward to what they can possibly do. They're really shocked that Navy lost to Notre Dame. But
I don't know if I would say shocked, but
I was. My wallet was, I should say. Over at my bookie. My God. Are they on the show today?
I mean, you've been throwing money away lately, almost on purpose, it seems.
It's not, dude. Like
it seems like it's on purpose.
The Fat Joe thing, no one could have predicted at Yankee
That had
Stadium.
nothing to do with what happened or with what happened last
It
night.
does. Fat Joe cursed the Yankees. I said this on Twitter. Look, it was Fat Joe versus Ice Cube. That's it. Game over. Sorry. Ice Cube is better. There's nothing you can do. Dodgers were going to win the World Series as soon as Ice Cube walked out. And they did. But this, if you're wondering if you're looking at Dan over there for Halloween, not a Halloween outfit. That is a Donald Trump outfit now. Bob, can you pull up that photo while we do our first story here? Because you are all garbage. All of you out there. All of you guys are garbage. Former president and future president on Tuesday, Donald John Trump got a rare gift. That was thanks to U.S. President Joe Biden, who referred to Trump supporters as garbage during a Zoom call with Latinx voters on Tuesday. The White House released a statement afterwards clarifying Biden's remarks, saying he was referring to the hateful rhetoric at Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden over the weekend from Tony Hinchcliffe. But the damage was done at that point there.
Yeah, nobody believes that, by the way.
No.
Nobody believes that Biden was saying that it's the rhetoric that's garbage. No, he said Trump supporters.
No, he had a
Garbage, yeah.
stutter, Dan. He had a stutter.
Yeah,
Boy, that's what CNN said.
I like that CNN stuff. It's like, he's had a stutter as a kid.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he's 80. And I've never heard him stutter before.
Supporters.
And his 50 years of public life. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You fucking jabrones.
Unbelievable there. And look, you had two different people who weren't a part of the campaign make these comments. And yeah, sure enough, because Kamala distanced herself from it, was just like, well, Joe shouldn't have said what Joe said or whatever the fuck that happened.
Yeah.
But obviously Trump wasted no time seizing on Biden's words. He showed up to his rally in Green Bay, Wisconsin on Wednesday evening in a white garbage truck emblazoned with the Trump 2024 logo.
And this is after Vivek actually did garbage pickup service with one of the local garbage companies.
Oh, really?
During the day, yeah.
That's funny.
So
yeah.
they're like turning this around really fast while the Harris campaign is scrambling and reactive to everything. They just seem to be like super loose, doing whatever the fuck.
It's wild to see. They've embraced social media, memes, podcasts, all that other stuff. Put that picture up again.
Well,
right
play the video. There's a video. Trump just rolls up like, hey, get in, losers. We're going garbage dumping or whatever.
Is that what he
fuck.
said?
No.
Oh, that would
like
be
my
great.
garbage truck. This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden. How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden.
How do you like my garbage truck?
How do you like my garbage?
I don't know how they got a garbage truck with Trump 2024 on it so quickly. I mean, that's pretty funny.
No idea. Whatever those guys are doing, they've been on fire throughout this campaign. I mean, you got this moment, you got the McDonald's moment, you got Rogan, and then Vance just did Rogan. That went over 3+ hours. I expect that to drop, probably today? Or Friday at the latest?
It'll be tonight, I would imagine.
Well, it's Halloween, so who knows, you know?
You got to listen to something while your bitch-ass kids are walking around getting LSD and fucking candy. You remember that when you were a kid? There was always, especially the early days of the internet, too, like in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
On like AOL chat rooms. Watch out. They're trying to poison your kid. Nobody is giving up their fucking expensive drugs to your dumbass kids.
No.
It'll never happen.
No, nobody's ever doing that.
I mean, I wish they would have when I was a kid, but
Joel's costume on Crime Corner that drops on our Patreon tonight for Crime Corner, he is wearing an apple that is covered in razor blades on it as his costume tonight. So check that out on our Patreon. Really fucking funny. But Trump said for the past 9 years, Kamala and her party have called us racist, bigots, fascists, deplorables, irredeemables, Nazis, and they called me Hitler. He said at the rally, they've bullied you, they've demonized you, they've censored us, they've deplatformed us, and they've weaponized the power of our own government against all of us. The Republican nominee went on to tout his campaign support for veterans, union workers, farmers, and patriotic moms and dads of every race, religion, color, and creed.
what's that you say, Donnie?
Creed. Can you take me higher?
Don't mind if I do.
God damn it, dude. If he gets Creed to come out for the last event.
I think Creed should play the inauguration. And I'm not even kidding. I've been planting that seed in everybody that works on or around the campaign. Get Creed. And Creed would 100% do it.
I hope so.
Scott Stapp would definitely do it.
Scott would.
He's a huge Trump dude. I don't know about the rest of them.
Yeah, I don't know about the rest of
You
them.
don't need the
I know
rest of the
Scott
band
would.
to play that song.
No.
All you need is Scott.
All you need
You
is
could play.
Scott, dude.
They're not going to bring a whole band out anyways. They'll play the track in the background, and he just sings fucking. Well, I don't know if "Higher" is the right one. Which song would you sing at the inauguration?
Well, I think you got to go with Higher just because that's it. That's the highest position in the land. Scott, when he was doing a solo tour, though, just took out another band, and he was still playing Higher and all of those. But there's so many hits to choose from out of Creed's catalog. I don't want to just limit it to one. I mean, I think if they did a best of for the night, at the inauguration party afterwards.
My Sacrifice.
My Sacrifice would be a good one, dude.
Higher.
Man.
Obviously would be a good one, too.
What was the one at the Cowboys game? Children, don't stop dancing. I mean, there's so many hits.
I don't know
what
that is.
That was the bald guy who was wrapped up in the white sheet who was dancing around from the ceiling. Remember they had him flying for a little bit?
No.
Really? That's infamous. Bob, bring up that picture for Dan there. Still the greatest thing of all time. I don't know where this guy's at. Maybe we could get him back. But man, he was good. Just there he is in that sheet down there. You see it? Yeah. Yeah. Look at him, dude. Oh, what an animal.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Look at him. Look at him. Look at how jacked that guy is. Hanging from the ceiling of Jerry World, for Christ's sakes.
No, that was pre-Jerry World.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are just an old school
Cowboy
real stadium.
yeah.
I wouldn't have trusted that then. The fact that worked and that guy's still alive. Holy shit. But another great play by Trump, man. The campaign is on fire here. What does Kamala have coming up? Because I watched Trump's rally. They broke into one of the news stations last night, and he was talking about the Beyonce thing, and he goes, she didn't even sing, not one song. Why'd you show up? Not one song. What is she? Does she have anything big coming up, or is this? It's kind of been silent. Like I haven't heard anything out of that side.
Yeah, I don't know.
She just had a rally in Madison.
Madison, Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, not Madison Square Garden, because that would be a Nazi rally, according to the left.
Would.
Right?
Yeah, you can't do that.
If you do a rally somewhere, then it's Nazi.
You can't do that.
Yeah, no, I don't know. She got angry at protesters again. It's like
oh, it's right.
Pro-Palestine. I'm speaking.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no, that's not how you do that.
Yeah, that's what happened last night. She got interrupted by the I saw that clip, actually. She handled it as well as you could have, I guess.
No. Ronald Reagan, as much as I talk shit about him, was the best ever at this, including Trump. He's the best ever.
But he was an actual actor.
Make love, not war. And he looked down at the crowd. He goes, I don't think you're capable of either. Right off the fucking, that's one of the best lines in political history right there.
When you act with a monkey for an entire film,
That's true, yeah.
you're going to be good.
But he's
man.
also quick, just in general. He's off the, like that, I don't think you're capable of either thing. Obviously, he thought about that ahead of time. But when that balloon popped after the assassination attempt, and he just like missed me, and then went back into a speech, just a professional.
He was good.
I don't know that Trump is even that good, and Trump is pretty good.
Trump's good.
Trump's the funniest president we've ever had, for sure.
For sure.
At least since the media age began. I think Lincoln was actually really funny too, but there's no audio of it. So
that was the word. He was very and very dirty.
Yeah, he was like, he would play dirty prank. He would definitely get canceled these days.
Although
really?
Yeah, he was like do weird shit to people all the time and prank the fuck out of it. Like he would prank the generals in his army and shit.
Okay.
Really funny. What were you going to say, Bob?
I'd say at least 2 presidents used their penis comedically. What was the other one? It was
LBJ.
I know, but there was a Coolidge or someone. Someone else was whipping their dick out.
Don't besmirch Coolidge like that.
What was Coolidge's best achievement, Delco?
Just being a bro.
Was he a bro?
So so probably was the other one that whipped his dick out then, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I like that, though. I don't mind that. I don't mind that shit behind closed doors.
He kind of steered us into the fucking Great Depression. That's
No,
not
that was Hoover. Coolidge did everything he wanted to and didn't seek re-election.
Really?
He was
Okay.
Yeah, he was president. Up until 29, so he kind of laid the groundwork a little. But that was just everyone being an irresponsible dickhead.
Yeah, well, I think we have the same government now, so whatever, man. But if you can find that clip from CNN, I laughed my ass off when that guy said the stutter thing last night. I was like, no way.
Yeah.
No way were you live on air and that's what you went with that. It was a black guy. I remember that. I remember watching the clip last night, and I was like, okay, cool.
I found a different... Oh, that's MSNBC.
It was CNN, and there he is. That's the guy. That's the guy who said it.
Right.
Joe Biden has never been a big arena speaker. He's never been the most fluid speaker. And by the way, as someone who had a stutter growing up, it's very obvious to me that there's an apostrophe at the end of supporters.
Look at this woman's
there.
face. She's a liberal too, by the way.
Spewed by supporters, not simply the supporters themselves. But Joe Biden has been on the campaign
Look at her
trail.
face. She's
He's
like,
best
oh, God.
getting ice cream in Maryland like he was today. He's best showing
He's
moments
best
of
eating ice
empathy
cream
in
in
Arizona
Maryland.
like he was last week. He's best with union folks as he was in Pittsburgh last week as well.
That is
you use people where they are best.
humiliating.
You put Obama in a big arena, you put Michelle in a big arena, and you put Joe Biden in front of a bunch of union people doing retail politics.
You could make the argument that they would be fine if Joe Biden wasn't anywhere near a microphone between now and next Tuesday.
You mean the guy that was sharp as a tack?
Charitable framing of this, which you just gave. Why is he sitting in front of a laptop at the exact same moment Kamala Harris is out on his backyard trying to give the closing argument to her campaign? What in the world is he doing? Now, I don't accept your framing of it personally because I actually do believe he, Harris, the Democratic Party, and most of their campaign do believe that half the country is garbage. They've also said people who go to Trump rallies are Nazis. And so it's pretty apparent the disdain with which they hold half of the country in.
It's not true.
It's just not true. We never called them deplorables, for example.
Right.
Tonight.
But as
Fuck
a
off.
tactical matter today,
No, but you don't just get to
why
say
in the
that.
You don't just get to say what's
Joe
true.
Biden give
That's
remarks
Politics
at the
Girl
same
on
time?
Twitter. That's her name.
Yeah.
She's a fucking retarded twat. Everything she says is fucking stupid.
Well, CNN, if you haven't heard, by the way, and this is not just CNN, but a lot of networks, minus Fox right now, because the ratings are still good. They've slashed their salaries. They told all their hosts, hey, this is a new world of media. The ratings don't match what we used to be paying you guys. Therefore, this is the level of talent you're getting now, because that's all they can afford. And then you have a guy like Brian Stelter, who just was out of options. So they went back to him.
Oh, is he back on CNN?
He's back on CNN. Swear to God.
God.
Signed a new deal, and he started this week, and he's going to do election night with those guys. But he took, I think it was a 66% pay cut to go back.
He's still overpaid.
Exactly. But this is the level of talent that you're left with over there. So you're going to kind of get this bullshit for forever there until it, eventually caves. But the stutter thing, bravo, sir. Bravo to even attempt that live on air.
Well, I was raised in a middle-class family. So,
You weren't. I don't believe it. Next up, I hope you have the video of this, by the way. Dominion machines compromised. The Michigan Department of State said Friday there is a known issue with some of its voting machines that will make it more inconvenient for certain people to cast ballots.
wait, I wonder which certain people it would be.
I don't know. mind? Or no, me neither. In a release, the department wrote that some of the terminals the state uses for people with disabilities present an error message if the voter does not cast a ballot in the way indicated at the beginning of the process. Voters must also select the straight party option on the machines, which are owned by Dominion Voting Systems, if they want to cast all of their ballots for members of one party, according to the State Department. Otherwise, the voter needs to select the desired candidate for each race. So here's my biggest issue with this, all the way around. Not just that you're already reporting fuck-ups in there. Bob, if you go to Twitter, there is a video of the woman giving a statement. So it is not just Michigan. It is happening in several states with Dominion voting machines, at least according to this lady here.
No, it's nationwide. It's all Dominion voting machines.
Gotcha. So here's my biggest problem with this, and I don't care if you're on the right or the left in this issue, okay? There should be no straight party option. You go in and pick the candidates yourself and press the goddamn buttons going down the thing. It takes less than 4 minutes to do.
It's not very long, yeah. And to be honest, there's a lot of, I don't know how, I think this is probably where the glitch comes in. I haven't looked into and look, I don't think this is anything nefarious either, just to be clear. It's just one of the, like, the irritating part is, you know that this exists. You didn't fucking test this. The fuck, man? Yeah. It's like, this isn't beta software. It's our goddamn federal election. You know what I mean? This isn't fucking a beta test of the new Call of Duty game. And if, you know, the graphics are fucked up, it's like, well, we'll release a patch. No, man, this is voting machines all over the country. But I bet, this is just a guess, but I bet what it is if you click straight party and then there are either nonpartisan elections, which are all the time in different states, or if there are things like we had here with county supervisors or something like that, where it's only one side or the other. Yep. Like there's 3 seats and only Democrats are running for it. Correct. Right. And the 2 highest ones are going to get those 2 seats or whatever the fuck. I don't vote in those. Yeah, I'm not endorsing any of that horseshit, right? Yep. So I bet it fucking goes down there and gets a null error, it's called, in programming, and it just fucks the whole thing up. But again, this is simple programming stuff. I mean, it's not a complicated machine to select 32 different options, or however many it was for us. I think it was 32.
Yeah, for us, in Texas.
For Texas, I think it was 32 things. If you can't figure out how to program 32 things without creating errors like this, maybe you shouldn't be in the business, frankly.
In the business, one, and then two, this will go back to what we said a couple weeks ago here. If you're so dumb that you need an option of just straight party, if you're that dumb and lazy where you need to just press a button that says straight party instead of checking the boxes that takes less than 4 minutes, should you be voting at all at that point? Like, for real. Yeah. Holy Christ.
Like, I understand why not only is it a bad idea, but the intent was nefarious behind poll taxes and literacy tests, right? The only reason we did that back then was because black people weren't literate. A larger percentage of black people than white people at the time.
At the time, yeah. But that was a very long time
ago. That was some time ago. I feel like a literacy test now, like a civics literacy test, might be important. If you can't name the 3 branches of government, you don't get to vote. I think that's fucking as fair as it gets. It's not fucking 1780 anymore.
Yeah.
Bob, you're a liberal. What do you got to say about that?
But they're not even teaching it in school, so the kids aren't even learning it.
Yeah, but you can fucking pick up your phone and it's like 3 branches of government.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it's, I honestly, truly don't hate that idea in general. What's funny about that though is that if it's, I think we tweeted about this a while back, but if it's as hard as the citizenship test is, everyone's going to pass it, right?
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Like, the citizenship test
is... the citizenship test is stuff like who's the first president, right? America, there's one that's like America's founded on the idea of representative government, which is codified in the first 3 words of the preamble of the Constitution. And it's, what is it? We the people.
We the people.
That's and it, right? Like, what are the first
it's very simple.
What are the first 10 amendments in the Constitution called?
Yeah, the Bill of Rights. Or you can say, name one of, I think one of the questions on the citizenship test is name one of the amendments in the Bill of Rights. Yeah, it might be both of those questions.
I don't remember how they do it, but I feel like there's a pool of like 100 questions. You study them. Then they tell you what 10. We just took the random. We just did all of them though.
Oh, you guys did it?
Yeah.
How did you do?
It was Jake versus Rob, and I think you won.
I obliterated.
Yeah, you killed Jake.
Yeah, he's a Florida man, though. They don't fucking follow rules or anything down there. They're not.
The other part about this, too, and this is in regards to immigration. Do you guys ever see those videos when they take the test and how proud they are afterwards to get their citizenship because they studied the country, they learned about it, and then they're here? Like,
well, they took a fourth grade history test, but yeah. I mean,
totally, but still, like, at least you're asking something of them rather than just coming over through, a hole in the fence at Eagle Pass. Like, hey, dude, and that's why most of the Latinos that are here in this country are so proud to be here, and then why they hate illegal immigration because they're like, dude, we did it the hard way, and we came in and did this, and that's respectful.
The old saying is, "There's no convert, or there's no zealot like a convert."
Yeah. So, all of this, like the straight party bullshit, like that shouldn't even be an option. You wouldn't even have this fucking problem. Do you want to play her video here of her speech? Because God forbid Dominion's suing everyone. I just want to make sure that this was her actual statement.
Dominion can suck my dick.
Well, let's not do that.
No, they can suck my dick. That's not. You can't sue me for saying that. Fuck you.
Got him. Let's play.
They're gonna try.
Yeah,
they can try these nuts.
Yes. Why was that only caught in the past few days, and why can't it be fixed? I saw the release.
Yeah, this is a nationwide issue with Dominion voter access terminals in the counties that use them. And the voter access terminals, of course, not all the machines, just the ones that are accessible, have an issue with the straight party voting and a programming issue that's, again, affected the machines nationwide. And I think all of us that use Dominion machines were unhappy to learn about this during the testing period and as early voting began. So we're working with Dominion to seek accountability on that front, and also are working with our clerks to ensure voters are aware of this programming issue that will require them to ensure they are voting every section on the ballot.
Bigger issue in Michigan because we do allow voters to cross over in ways that a lot of other states don't.
Because we have straight party. It's not struck me as I've talked to my other colleagues in other states. They're just as upset about it as we are. So yeah, or surprised, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so Dominion said in a statement yesterday, there is no issue preventing any voters from voting or making their preferred selections. Well, that's not true, obviously, but according to the Michigan Secretary of State and the other secretaries of state that she's referencing who aren't happy with the situation. So I wonder who's going to line up to sue Dominion for lying in response to this, right? Because they do have a statutory responsibility to the United States citizenry because they're handling some of this stuff, right? I think somebody should immediately file a lawsuit against them and take that company down for good. Now,
I bet they are right now.
Certainly, yeah. Christina might be on that already, but more issues in Michigan. So, Bob, if you want to click that little PJ Media link there, 114,545 Michigan voters who have cast 279,113 ballots from multiple addresses across the state have been found. This results in 164,568 excess ballots as of 10/29. That's 2 days ago.
Wait, how many? Can you repeat that number?
164,568. Now, what the last thing I read on this is that the state of Michigan said that they've been identified, and I think Lara Trump had a comment on this too, that they've been identified and they will not be counted. Right.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean they didn't try.
Yeah.
The Democrats tried to get in 165,000 additional votes, and they got caught. And multiple people in Michigan and other states, Minnesota as well, have been caught. Illegal immigrants, fucking one Chinese dude.
They just had that ruling in Virginia, too, where they had to eliminate all the illegal shit. Did you see the Supreme Court ruling? 6-3 yesterday on that? Like...
Yeah,
why? Why would you allow a non-citizen to vote?
That is the three no's on that. I don't know if it went right left because usually it did. Usually it doesn't right left.
It did go right left. It was Sotomayor, Kenji, whatever the fuck her name is, and then the
Jumanji.
other. Yes,
Jumanji Brown Jackson.
The other guy. It was 6-3.
Those people need to be impeached from the bench. That's unacceptable. Like you can disagree on interpretations of. Censorship or gun ownership or any of this other stuff. You cannot disagree on the fact that only citizens get to vote in our federal elections. God damn, that's not gray. There's no gray.
No.
It's black and fucking white. Now, then in Colorado, I don't know if you heard about this, a civil servant accidentally leaked the BIOS passwords for their voting machines. Now, a BIOS password is the hardware password, not logging into your operating system, but logging in.
Explain it for the dumb people like myself and anybody else out there who doesn't know what that is, because I don't know what that is.
Like if you've ever gone to a terminal or something, or you've had to jailbreak your device, or this operating system became corrupted and you had to get around it or whatever, to log into the hardware itself, that's the BIOS password.
Okay.
And that was leaked accidentally. This is Secretary of State Jenna Griswold from Colorado. And if that name sounds familiar, it's because she tried to register a bunch of non-citizens to vote, 30,000 of them, as a matter of fact, was sending messages to voters who had already voted, tried to remove Trump from the ballot, blah, 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 all this stuff. She's just a notorious piece of shit. Griswold in her office tried to marginalize the significance of this by suggesting it's only one step in multiple security measures. But the BIOS password would allow someone to walk up to a local machine, install firmware, and then propagate it through the system, right? Like do a firmware update on this computer, but then all the other computers on this network, it would propagate through. That's how that usually works. I don't know if those machines are networked or not, so maybe that's not 100% accurate, but you would definitely be able to go to each individual machine and install some kind of firmware that creates a glitch where, I don't know, every fifth Trump vote gets marked as a Harris vote. So not enough to make it look like it's everyone, but enough to make it look like something isn't what it really is, right?
Yeah.
That's what you can do with a BIOS password. So it's not a small deal by any stretch of the imagination. That's fucking crazy that they're even saying that.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild one on Tuesday nights. But, we were talking with Jank yesterday. Pennsylvania falls, and they got all their votes in last time at a decent hour. I think it was 11. I think you'll know the answer, and I don't know if Michigan and everybody else will matter, but we'll see. I think the wildest part about this is the tech that's being used behind the scenes with drones and body cams and other shit as far as like ballots go and drop-offs and everything else. The weirdest one to me over the last week was that Nevada one still, where they ruled, the Supreme Courts in Nevada ruled that you could send it in up to 4 days unpostmarked, which... Why? I don't understand.
I don't know that.
The day. The day is November 5th.
I think I think that'll get overturned. Now that it's gone through the Nevada Supreme Court, I think it would go to, if it gets challenged, I don't know if they'll even bother, but it should get challenged. It would go to a federal appeals court and then the Supreme Court. Although the Supreme Court could reach down and grab it.
Okay.
Because of the timeliness as well. So who knows?
Gotcha. This will bring us to our first sponsor of the show, our title sponsor, GoSped.com/Drinkin Bros. 50% off. The promo code Drinkin Bros at checkout on everything in the entire store. Children, don't stop dancing. You can buy those sheets. Wrap yourself up like the dude from Creed. Pull him up one more time, Bob. Put him on screen there. That would be a fun thing to do in the bedroom with your lady or your fella. I don't want to judge. Maybe you're going to tie yourself. Look at this.
If you're not flying into holes like this, you're not doing it right.
Look at that guy, dude. Oh, boy.
Just swan dive into that puss.
Yeah. Or butthole. Look, I don't know if he's straight or gay.
Well, it doesn't. This isn't helping his case.
Zoom in on him, Bob. Let's see. What do you think here? If you were a gambling man, which you are, straight or gay, this guy?
He's doing the Pond the Floor music video, just jumping into women.
I don't know who he prefers to have sex with, but this guy's straighter than all of us. Look at that. That's a man.
Man, I've never seen any dancers that
Bob,
are straight. I've never met one.
Do you want to pull up a picture of Greg Louganis?
Yeah.
Because he looks pretty good, too. And he chugs semen like it's going out of style. Like he's a thirsty boy.
Look at him. He's a good-looking man.
He's still a good-looking dude.
I mean, to this day. He got better looking as he got older.
Yeah, that's how dudes work.
Man, look at this
It's
guy.
it really is unfair in life to be a woman.
This is recent, by the way.
Yeah, you're bleeding to death constantly. You spend $1,000 to $2,000 a month just on like makeup and fillers and hair and all that bullshit. Meanwhile, I'll wake up, look around, put on some jeans and walk the fuck out the door.
Yeah.
And I get better looking with age, and you assholes get worse looking with age. It fucking sucks, man.
Look at Luganis, dude. God damn it. But anyways, with Ghost Bed, you can buy those sheets, wrap yourself up, do it over the bed. Get a mattress. Get an adjustable base if you want a better view of your partner flying over the bed for some crazy sex that night. They've got weighted blankets, mattresses for RVs. You name it, they got it over there. Best in the biz. When you check out, you're going to see a 3-year pay-as-you-go program. No interest. If you got decent credit over there, you can stretch out the payments. Get a brand new bedroom set for about $45 a month. Head on over to ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros today. Get yourself a brand new bedroom set. Next up, man, this is going to continue, I think, throughout the next 3 to 4 days, hopefully not weeks or months. Voter fraud in Pennsylvania. Potentially fraudulent election materials are being probed by top law enforcement and election officials in the battleground state of Pennsylvania.
Probed, eh?
Yeah.
I like that.
Probed a lot at the 2024 contest as it enters its final days. District attorneys and election officials in both Lancaster County and York County are looking into potential election-related fraud after authorities received large batches of voter registration materials from a third-party organization. What's that?
So somebody ballot harvested, but voter registration harvested. And when they examine them, it's like, what is it, like 1,500, 2,500 in 2 separate batches. They all had the same handwriting, same signatures.
Ah, okay. Yeah, so in Lancaster County, they got caught with 2,600.
It was York and Lancaster, both of whom are deeply red areas, right? So you're seeing not ballot but registration harvesting done in majority red counties in Pennsylvania right now, which is what you should expect from people who have cheated in every election.
Yeah, so after receiving these, the applications in 2 separate batches last week, the batches of registration applications were dropped off ahead of the Pennsylvania's registration deadline on October 21st. Staff noticed that numerous applications appeared to have the same handwriting and were filled out on the same day. The confirmed indicators of fraud that detectives came across were inaccuracies with the addresses listed on the application, fake and false personal identification information, as well as false names. Also, applications that had names that did not match the provided Social Security information. Adams said the materials sometimes included correct personal information, but when the individuals were contacted by the investigators, they reported they did not request the application forms. She estimated that this week, about 60% of the applications were fraudulent, News 8 reported. County Commissioner Josh Parsons told News 8 that the alleged phony registration forms are a threat to the election process. So, yeah, not a big shock there, but I'll go back to, 2020? I forget who we had on the show. She was one of the lawyers for the Nevada case. And I said, hey, none of these are going through the court system. And we kind of grilled her when she was on the show. What is it that you were fighting for with these mail-in ballots, and what was incorrect about them? Now, she was saying that the scan wasn't turned up to 90 like it was supposed to be to read the actual signatures, and that it was actually at 30%. So, yeah, if somebody was just doing it over and over and over again, that would make sense. But if you couldn't read it, that would be a different story. Obviously, they were able to read it and toss these out. My question to you is, with these people, do they even exist? Or were they real people that they were trying to get mail-in ballots from and trying to figure that out?
Well, I mean, it says that I think probably a combination of both, because some people...
Because the applicant said that they didn't request them.
Yeah, some were attached, obviously attached to people because they said they didn't request them. And then others, I don't know. I don't know about the totality, but Adams said the material sometimes included correct personal information.
Yeah.
So that means they were looking at previous voter rolls, maybe.
Yeah.
Because you can request that information. As a matter of fact, that's part of the voter purge. Is if somebody hasn't voted, I think in the last 2 elections in a row.
Okay.
And you can, most states, you're legally allowed to purge them off the voter rolls, and they have to re-register. And it's for that reason, right? People, you don't ever go unregistered to vote. You only register to vote. But if you register and die or get sick or move somewhere else, the purpose of the 2 election cycle thing is to, all it takes to register is to get on the computer for 2 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you are planning on voting, then that's good. Go fucking register, then you can vote. If you're one of these people that aren't going to fucking vote in that district, or you can't at all because you're dead or something like that, then they want to remove you from the voter rolls for obvious reasons so that somebody else can't vote in your place.
Yep.
That's the whole reason it exists.
Yeah. It's going to happen a lot. Hopefully, look, I know the Republicans' campaign is too big to rig. Hopefully, all this early voting is that, and everybody's saying, all right, fuck it. Let's just go and do this.
Well, they've been caught trying a couple of times in big ways already. One is the Michigan thing, the Colorado thing, now the Pennsylvania thing. So fucking swing state after swing state, they're catching people trying to do weird shit already.
And then Maricopa County said that they're not going to have any results for 14 days, which is a very odd statement to make 2 weeks before. This happened 2 weeks ago.
I think the FEC needs to take over those elections. They have to take them away from Arizona. They can't. They obviously cannot be trusted.
Well, is Katie Hobbs still the head of the Arizona election board?
No, she's the governor now. So whoever the Secretary of State of Arizona would be.
So it got pushed down to them? Okay.
Yeah, but it would be her employee, essentially.
Which is not great.
No.
But
that's always the case. It's always, technically, the Secretary of State is always the employee of the governor. So,
man, why can't we just go back to hand ballot? Like, I don't really get it.
I don't know. There's only fucking 7.5 million people in Arizona.
It's not a lot.
No, it's not. It's 7.5 million. It's that. What is that? A quarter of Texas, basically. Ours gets turned in on time.
Yeah, it's all over.
So what message is being communicated exactly by these people? We can't figure out voting on the night of because what?
I'm not sure, but take the 2 biggest states probably in the last 25 years. Obviously, Florida in 2000 with the hanging Chad shit. After that, they got it all cleared up. They figured it out. They've never had a problem reporting afterwards. Pennsylvania, 2020 had a fucking issue. 2022, all wrapped up by 11 p.m. So I'd hire those people from those states. Like, I don't understand. It just doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Next up, sponsor-wise, we got mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros doubles that first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Get off the couch and get into the action today with mybookie.com. Since we're talking about it here and we're 4 days away, let's see these odds, shall we? On the President of the United States, there is a lot of gambling action going down everywhere across all these sites here. Make your pick. Yeah, shit. I mean, you could bet on every goddamn state. Holy cow, dude. This is wild.
Yeah.
So this is great, actually. Shit, I'm on their site now. Yeah, you got it pulled up, Bob? Yeah. So you can bet literally on every state. So if you're in Alabama, well, it's Republicans minus 10,000 over there. Not great odds.
Lay it.
You're going with the value there and taking Democrats? Yeah, you can bet on every single state, all the way across the board. I'm going to scroll down here, see if they got any fun prop bets there, because Daddy likes those. Those are fun, but yeah, man, shit, you can vote on everything. Georgia, supposed swing state, minus 280 for Trump. That's wild. What else we got? What other swing states here do we got? Michigan. Michigan's and even they got a dead heat here in Vegas on my bookie.
Yeah, I don't know that I agree with that. That might be bettors moving that market.
The interesting one here, if you believe the polls, which I don't, but if you're looking for some value, as Delco says all the time, which he is, New Hampshire's the other weird one that I've been hearing about in the background that the Republicans, that Trump might be able to pull off. It's plus 350 there. I might just throw a hunch on that.
No way.
I mean, no, don't do that. Polymarket has...
what does Polymarket have?
They have an 83% chance Harris wins.
Okay.
New Hampshire. I would not do that.
All right. I'm looking for some value here. That's not bad. The fuck do I care?
I think if you want value that makes sense.
North Carolina is minus 250 for Republicans.
Yeah, that I would say Nevada. Take Trump in Nevada. That's probably get some value there.
What's that right now? Minus 150?
No, it's a minus 200.
For Nevada?
Yeah,
Oh,
Trump.
shit.
For Trump.
Shit, dude.
Yeah, Michigan's even.
Well, then I would take Nevada for Harris then.
You know,
I
for
actually
value's sake.
kind of love for value's sake. For value's sake, you can jump on me in the comments anyway. Harris 2-1 in Georgia.
Look, Georgia, because a lot of people ask me that, Bob, all the time of like, hey, why did Georgia turn blue? All of Hollywood moved their productions there. I mean, they don't shoot anything in LA anymore. So like all of those people moved to Georgia. So,
Well, they still shoot unarmed black people.
Where?
In LA.
In LA, yeah,
but not like movies or nothing.
No, but all the filming there's a lot in Georgia, so everybody moved there. Let's see the rest of this, just out of curiosity, because the swing states. So swing state wise, Nevada is minus 200 for Republicans, so like that's a 2-1 on.
Most of the values on Harris. Like,
All
most of the plus
of
odds is on Harris. So
all of it across the board, but even Wisconsin, which I didn't think we'll do this we always do the pre-election prediction show on Monday, which we'll do. On fake news on Monday, but I'm looking at it now. Even fucking Wisconsin is minus 140 for Republicans. That's not great odds.
Wisconsin's biggest, it's always the case in every state, but their big cities dominate population-wise, right? It might be time for an electoral college inside of the states as well, to be honest.
Who knows?
The whole point of the electoral college is to keep major population-dense areas from controlling everybody else.
Of course.
And we've just created that at the state level now.
Virginia. What do you think about Virginia? Any shot there? Because there's some value there. Republicans are plus 475.
That's blue as hell.
For Trump's, no. Like everybody that works in D.C. This isn't a left or right thing. They're voting for Kamala because she's going to keep the wars going.
Oh,
That's
gotcha.
it. Yeah,
Okay.
that's not even a political issue. That's
Maryland, Virginia, it's every agency there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true. Man. Well, look, if you're a gambling man, all these are favored for Trump's. Let's see what his final odds are coming in at here. Well, not final because it'll change up until the day, but today's odds. Fuck. Is that minus 210? Is that real? Damn it, yeah. Trump is now up by more than 2-1 odds to win president of the United States now. That's the highest I've ever seen it. And this isn't Polymarket, by the way. This is actual Vegas itself, and they don't miss very often.
I mean, if you want your value, you say he's going to win the popular vote. He's a dog there.
I know. What's the odds there?
Not as bad as you would think.
No, it's only plus 140.
Yeah, he's got a 38% chance to win the popular vote. I would say it's more like a 60% chance, frankly.
So that's the value at? I'll do it.
I think that's probably the best one.
I'll do it. And my bookie, dude, here's how efficient they are. You can even bet popular vote margin of victory and go down the percentage there.
Yeah. He'll win.
God,
he'll win the popular.
rule,
if he wins the popular vote, it'll be by less than 1%.
So let's see what those odds.
It'll be
are.
by like 0.4 to 0.8%.
Plus 215, so 2-1 odds. You'd be getting 2-1 odds on that, which is pretty goddamn good. My bookie's fucking on it, dude. Great games across the board as well. College football, NFL. Who's the NFL game tonight, Bob? Because I always give a prediction. I've been
Texans at Jets.
God damn it.
Oof. Well,
yeah, I took the Texans plus 2.5.
Well, the Texans don't have any receivers, but I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, and it's Halloween. I'll find out later on in the evening there. Congratulations to the Dodgers, by the way, Bob's favorite team. If you bet them, you won a lot of money preseason there. But you can bet on everything at mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros doubles that first deposit up to $1,000. Next up, defund the police. The Harris campaign cut multiple six-figure checks last month for left-leaning groups that have been vocal about defunding the police, reparations, and are tied to radical activists who have supported notorious anti-Semite Louis Farrakhan. Love saying that last name. Harris' campaign gave hundreds of thousands of dollars to a handful of black advocacy groups who were mobilizing black voters ahead of November's election week, according to FEC filings released last week. Black Voters Matters Fund, which received $150,000 from the Harris campaign on September 19th, has repeatedly called for the defunding of police and has been vocal about pushing for reparations. The answer to police violence against communities of color is not more money for police. The group wrote in February of 2023, it's time to defund the police and redirect those resources into building strong, healthy communities. So as far as the reparations are concerned, she actually said this on the campaign trail about 2.5 weeks ago at a black church in Atlanta, I believe. So that one I can speak for sure. The donations speak for themselves, though. If you're doing it, yeah, you're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, she's trying to play this game again. Her campaign's trying to play this game again where, I mean, I didn't actually pay for people who were violent criminals to get out.
I just funded the groups that support it.
Yeah, I just donated money. That's what they're doing again. We're mobilizing 100K strong, knock for change, vote for justice, volunteers across Georgia, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, knock on doors and blah, blah, blah. Insane. I mean, this is like the O.J. Simpson Foundation for the Protection of White Women because she's put more people in prison for nonsense. I mean, you've seen this video floating around of her bragging about.
Yeah. I lived there at the time.
The stroke of the pen. Putting moms in jail because their kids were late to school too many times.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Shit, they did interviews with the parents, too.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that video, I would highly recommend going on Twitter and finding it.
The one mom was like, dude, I had to work and, things happened and, yeah, we had to sit the kid out. Like, why are you showing up at the fucking door? And these aren't like, fucking crazy people either. If you watch the interviews with these women, because they did it on the local news too, they were pretty normal. They were just like, hey, I'm a single mom. I work hard. Sometimes I don't, I got to go in or stay in late or whatever it is or work night shifts and everything else. And yeah, it's pretty normal shit. So look, we'll find out on Tuesday at this point, man. For me, I want to get this shit over with. I'm tired of seeing the fucking ads.
Yeah, we've been. I was talking to Andy about this the other day. What are we gonna do if Trump just wipes her out? Now, what conversation are we having Monday the week after next?
On Wednesday, you mean?
No, Monday. Like after he wins the election, because we'll be talking about it for a couple of days after that. Everything that happened, breaking down, and then Monday comes around after a weekend. What are we talking about?
I think. You'll have a bunch of lawsuits. I think there'll be protests for a long time. I mean, how long did it go on in 2016? It was a couple weeks in a lot of these cities.
The memes will carry over for a couple of weeks. There will be more pussy hats and women who look like men crying in the streets and stuff like that. There will be all kinds of just emotional breakdowns on MSNBC especially. I mean, to be honest, that might be their highest ratings ever. Because I'll be watching.
I'll share something with you. I talked to somebody in Hollywood. They told me MSNBC secretly behind the scenes is hoping he wins so they can stay in business. And you and I, on the flip side of this, by the way.
We said that in 2020.
But we've also said that about some companies that are quote unquote conservative companies who were hoping for Biden to win so they could capitalize off of it. And it was just like, fucking A, bro.
It's objectively better business.
Yes.
For the other side.
Yeah. And I won't mention who it was, but this dude came up to me. I was at a fucking grocery store or whatever, and he was just like, yeah, man, kind of hoping. And I was like, really? I was like, it's your business versus the rest of America. And that's what you fucking hope for. He goes, don't you? So you'd have more shit to talk about on air? And I go, no, we have endless shit to talk about on air anyways. Like, I want what's best for the fucking country, but those conversations are going on behind closed doors. And I did think about this.
By the way, I think that Trump winning is good for business for Fox as well.
Yes, right. Because then they can go after all the other networks who are going after.
That's
the other
what they just report on the noise from the other guys.
Correct.
He amplifies everybody.
Yeah,
like Fox got bigger just like everybody else did with that guy in power. Anyways,
but I was thinking about what would happen in the week after. There is some crazy questions to think about because let's go back to 2020. Typically, the president greets the other presidents as they're leaving the White House, says a few words, and then boom,
I think it's going to be super cordial between Biden and Trump this time. I don't think Harris will be anywhere near it.
But Trump was not there.
Yeah.
Remember the last time?
Yeah.
So what's going to happen with Biden? Does he stay in Delaware on the beach? And say, hey?
No. I think Biden is. I think the one last thumb in the eye to Harris and the establishment Democrats who tried to pull this bullshit on him is to go fucking be buddies with Donald Trump on Inauguration Day. That's what I think.
The other thing that'll come up too throughout the rest of this process is who's he going to pardon? Now, obviously, Hunter is going to be on the top of that list.
Maybe. I don't know. It depends. Is Hunter, did he give him that 10% for the big guy or not?
I'm sure he
It's
did.
like, Hunter, I need that 10%. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to do this pardon button.
But if you notice, he pleaded in that case, pleaded guilty. We covered that story on the show.
Mm-hmm.
There has been no sentencing hearing set at all.
No.
So I think that was part of the plan.
They're waiting for that, yeah.
Either way. And, you know, if I'm Trump, I'd pardon him. I'd pardon Hunter and say, hey, dude, I don't want to go after kids or politicians anymore, all the stupid shit that I went through. And I would do it just to do it anyways. But I think that last night is when they usually do it. I think Biden will end up doing it for his kid anyways. So those conversations will be had. The transfer of power will be had. And then what that inauguration is going to look like. So
we know it's going to look like. Creed.
Well, I hope. But you and I got invited to the inauguration in 2016. And it was freezing that day. And it was like, there's no way we're going. What was it? It was like 4 degrees or something like that.
I'm not interested in that kind of thing anyways. I don't go places where I can't carry a gun.
Oh, right. Can you not there?
At the presidential inauguration, no.
Okay.
No.
You never know. I don't know what
I
kind
should
of
be
power
able
you
to.
wield. That's what I was going to say.
But
I don't know what you do.
No. I mean, I could get away with it, but I would be asking people to do favors for me, which I'm not comfortable with. So no, I'm not doing that.
So as this was going on, because you had to get in early and all this other stuff, some friends of mine ended up going, and they said there was fucking protests that were so close to them walking in, because you got to walk in because it's outside. What is it, Washington Monument? I think it's in front of, or whatever. And that's going to be out of control. All of this is going to be out of control, and I think it'll be endless conversation for weeks and weeks and weeks about all of this shit and what's going to happen there. Also, the last thing that I'm really curious about is if Trump wins, he doesn't take office until what, the 21st of January? Somewhere in there, 21st, 22nd, whatever it is.
Third week of January, yeah.
Yeah. What does Jack Smith try to do with his last 2 months left? Does he try to force these cases?
No, he won't be able to. I mean, they couldn't. The fucking lame dunk Obama administration couldn't get Merrick Garland passed as a fucking as a Supreme Court justice. You think they're going to be able to prosecute the incoming president? Not one fucking prayer.
I don't think so either.
That shit shuts down between November and fucking January.
I don't think it will stop them from trying.
No, he doesn't. Jack Smith doesn't have any statutory authority. Like, if anything happens, it would have to go through Merrick Garland. He would have to okay it, and I don't think that's a smart move for him. Because he might end up buried under a fucking prison somewhere, which is where he fucking belongs, frankly.
And by the way, the Democrats hate him now, too. So, like, they're nonplussed about the hire of Merrick Garland.
I think he just wants to ride off into the sunset, maybe write a book or something.
He should. I mean, that should be it for him.
Well, I mean, we need to prosecute him. He needs to go to prison.
Yeah, he's fucked up everything. But we all know that's not going to fucking
happen. Him and Mayorkas both need to go to prison forever, for the rest of their lives. Fauci as well. They got to go to jail forever, in my opinion.
Yeah. Love to see it. I don't think it's going to happen. But next up, we got Montana Knife Company. All right, I always talk about Josh Smith's dick with this. I'm not going to today. I saw Bert Kreischer on Cam Haines' podcast the other day, and Cam was like, "I've got a gift for you." And Bert looks at him and he goes, "Tell me it's a fucking Montana knife." And it was. And he gave him the Montana knife on the show.
I gave one to Andy.
Oh, no shit? Yeah. I was unaware how everybody wants these goddamn things.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And you can't find them because they sell out in 12 seconds.
I know. But like, Bert was just like, "Dude, can I have the knife? Do I get the fucking knife?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'll give you the knife." So he gave it to him live on air, which was pretty funny. That they really are the best knives, like for real. Once you own them, you'll understand. I got my wife those kitchen knives. Montana Knife Company was founded by the most experienced master bladesmith in the world, in my opinion, Josh Smith. Making knives for 30 years, all made in the USA, manufactured locally in Montana, designed, tested, and built by hunters. Montana Knife Company is a hunting knife company first and foremost. Sharpest knives out of the box and the easiest knives to sharpen. Montana Knife Company is a young company, and they're working hard to keep up with the demand. As Dan said, man, these sell out in minutes. because they're custom, they're incredible, and they last forever. I mean, there's not many items that you can buy that'll literally last forever. This is one of them. And a great knife is something you need in this life. I can promise you that. So they sell out in minutes. Head on over to MontanaKnifeCompany.com to see what's available now and use the promo code DB10 for 10% off your first order. That is promo code DB10 for 10% off your first order. Next up, Facebook election interference has been confirmed. The FBI warned major U.S. tech companies ahead of the post's first reports on Hunter Biden's laptop in October of 2020 that Russian agents were preparing a strikingly similar document dump. And once the scoop materialized, Facebook execs discussed calibrating censorship decisions to please what they assumed would be an incoming Biden-Harris administration. A congressional investigation found in the new details contained by an interim report by the House Judiciary Committee. Not a prayer at that today. We've been testing out seltzers all day. That's why I do it. These little guys up here. Sour Skittles was bomb, by the way. On the weaponization of governments are emerging as former President Donald Trump leads in the polls ahead of the November 5th election. And his allies urge a house cleaning at the FBI and possible new regulations or antitrust actions to punish and restrain platforms like Facebook. Said FBI tipped us off last week that this Burisma story was likely to emerge. An unidentified Microsoft employee wrote on October 14th of 2020, the day the New York Post published the first of a series of bombshell stories on the Biden family's foreign dealings. According to the congressional report, internal Facebook communications, including a chat log, showed that employees quickly discounted the New York Post reporting because it was the exact content expected for hack and leak. Obviously, our calls on this could color the way an incoming Biden administration views us more than anything else. So with that statement right there, I want to pause for a second. Is this why Washington Post and LA Times obviously isn't endorsing Kamala here? Because they don't want to deal with that either, because it feels like they're pretty positive of what's going to happen here behind the scenes. And that's what Facebook was dealing with in 2020.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is Nick Clegg, by the way, who's their vice president of global affairs. And he said that to Joel Kaplan, who is the vice president of global public policy. So it isn't like, this isn't a James O'Keefe thing where two fucking minimum wage employees get caught at a bar talking about shit that they have no idea about. This is two high-level executives in charge of the international work that Facebook does, saying that we can't we have to go along with what the administration's saying about this, or what the FBI rather is saying about this. Otherwise, Biden's going to fuck us up when he gets in office. Mm-hmm. They interfered with the election because they were afraid of what Biden or the Democrats might do. That's what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what seems like it's happened on the other side. Now, an endorsement's a lot different than actually.
Well, they're not going to endorse Trump, obviously,
no,
right?
Shit.
So the best thing, the best next best option rather, is to endorse no one. But frankly, not endorsing a Democrat is endorsing Trump.
Yes, 100%. And as far as these people who are leaving there, the editors and all that other stuff, there is no media jobs out there anymore. So I don't know what you're going to do for work at that point.
I guess they're all going to be on Substack.
Yeah, but what do you get paid for that, Bob?
Nothing. Yeah, I mean, you get paid whatever your subscribers pay you.
It's Patreon. It's the same thing.
For writers.
Yeah. I don't know. Forgive me. I'm not on Substack. And I don't.
It's just Patreon
it's
for
the
writers.
Same thing.
It is?
Yeah.
If you want to read.
It's
okay.
more for, they do, it's a podcast platform as well, but it is more text-oriented, yeah. And it is a good reading. It's actually a very good platform for reading, where Patreon kind of sucks for written content.
Yeah.
It's better.
Yeah.
Now the
what do they charge there, by the way?
They do charge a little extra.
It's higher.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The FBI had possession of Hunter Biden's abandoned laptop since December 2019. We had the guy on that gave it to him.
Yep.
And they knew that it was real. And they told, there's actually, so part of this investigation that happened, you can read this, is in the New York Post yesterday. Part of this investigation revealed that the FBI did, in fact, communicate to Facebook that it wasn't fake, that the laptop's real. Mm-hmm. But it was just one low-level employee to another, and it didn't propagate through the rest. So Facebook thought people in Facebook knew it was real. And they chose to do this anyways. The FBI also knew it was real, chose to do this anyways. The FBI also refused to comment when 51 ex-intelligence officials said it was fake, even though they knew it was real.
Yep.
Right? And Facebook had no problem publishing that. The New York Times, I think, published that, the 51 form or whatever the fuck.
Yep.
And everybody propagated that to everyone else. It was all fake. It was election interference.
And if you're looking to jail somebody, the 51 people who said it was fake, and there are so-called intelligence experts, sorry, man, you lied.
Yeah, I think the New York Times should be sued by the federal government for election interference as well, and just they're done. New York Times is done forever. They should be sued until they can't exist any longer.
How has the federal government ever done that to a corporation?
Shut down businesses? Yeah.
Okay.
That's happened. Yeah, so that guy, John Paul Mac Isaac, which is too many names, gave them the laptop. Hunter failed to retrieve from him, and it became his property. Congressional Republicans accused the FBI and tech platforms of collaborating to defeat Trump in the last election. That's absolutely what happened. Again, I've said this many times. We do have some irregularities with ballot harvesting, with voting machine, not on purpose, but even just technical errors, as we're seeing, can happen. As the Michigan Secretary of State pointed out earlier in the show. But you don't have to hack a machine if you can hack somebody's fucking brain. It's that simple. I mean, these things are we're operating in razor thin margins politically these days, and people are very susceptible to programming. So one little thing like this can make the difference, and it did.
Yeah, and if you go back to the Democrats in 2016, all of them point to Comey coming out, 15 days before the election, saying, hey, I'm going to take another look at Hillary's email thing. Yes, it matters.
Well, Trump was going to win that one either way because Democrats don't like Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, I never bought that the Comey letter affected much of anything.
No, she
wrote that in her book.
Dude, she didn't fucking go to Michigan or Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
Like, didn't go. If you don't, I don't know what's going to happen in the election, but one thing you might hear about is lack of ground games in places.
Because Obama's ground game was great. If you just forget about Michigan, if you think about Wisconsin, they had tons of federal money in 2012 for the recall of Scott Walker, right? The Act 10 thing where he busted up unions and all this bullshit. Tons of federal money come in. Lots of Democratic presence. We're talking about this woman, Teresa Vilmain, who was like one of Hillary's top operators. She was working around where I was working, actually. Ran into her a lot. They brought in all this stuff to Wisconsin, and they still lost.
Yeah.
They still lost that recall to Scott Walker, who is a dumpy, doofy fucking goober. Like, he is not a slick politician by any stretch of the imagination. So if you see that and you're like, all right, we're pretty close in Wisconsin, you got to fucking take your whole team there in the same way that Trump's team is all in Pennsylvania right now.
Correct. And something I can confirm right now, they are not going to the Penn State-Ohio State game because they want to split up and do, I want to say, 4 to 5 rallies apiece at different locations all day Saturday. And they didn't want to get stuck there for too many hours with Secret Service and all that other stuff. So they are going to do that and split it up and go everywhere. So they've been going all in on Pennsylvania, rightfully so. Because if that drops first, the election is over that night.
It'll be over that night in Pennsylvania, in my opinion. But Jim Jordan on this story that we're on right now. If the FBI's intent was truly to help social media companies combat actual foreign influence operations, the FBI should have shared the single most important fact. The influence peddling allegations in the New York Post story were based off real, credible information, including information in the FBI's possession. The FBI failed to do so, while the FBI eventually conceded that it had no indication that the allegations in the Post story were actually Russian disinformation, only after an FBI agent mistakenly revealed to Twitter that the laptop was real. The FBI still withheld the fact that it had seized and authenticated Hunter Biden's laptop months prior. Right? All of these people, the FBI director, the Attorney General Merrick Garland, DHS Secretary Mayorkas, who is in charge of some of this stuff as well, they all belong in prison. This is election interference. They tried to hijack our fucking country. They have to fucking go to prison forever.
Yeah, and we've had the hearings. and nobody said a fucking word about it. Who was it? It was Vance the other night on CNN going at it back and forth with Jake Tapper. I don't even know if you saw that interview, but
yeah, Jake Tapper's a fucking idiot, man. God, what a dumb piece of shit. And I don't understand how these people don't realize that the internet exists.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like you'll see a contentious debate between somebody on the right and somebody at CNN, and the person at CNN, even with Dave Smith and what's his name, Chris Cuomo, like 6 months ago or something. I never did that. I never said that, and then smash cut. Saying that exact thing over and over and over again.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? If you get caught being wrong or lying, continuing to deny it once there's video evidence is a bad look.
Right.
Like Jean-Luc Picard saying he didn't say garbage people or whatever the fuck. It's like, dude, we saw the video. What are you talking about?
It was live. There's nowhere to go there. But one of the things in the Tapper interview was Vance saying, look, you pushed the Russian collusion thing. That was false. And he goes, well, we talked about it later. And he goes, you talked about it 3 years later, like after the 4 years after the fact. And he goes, the Hunter Biden thing you guys said wasn't true. And he goes, oh, well, we did cover it. And he goes, yeah, but it was a year after the election. Like, then it didn't matter at that point. And again, you can go back to the footage and then just cut it up. Like, it's super fucking easy. So, yeah, dude. I don't think we have, today's the 31st. Was there an October surprise at all for anybody here this month?
I would call it the two comments would be the closest thing.
The garbage thing was pretty rough.
Garbage and Puerto Rico were the two.
I don't think that Puerto Rico thing's a needle mover.
I got several Puerto Rican stars to come out and
hang on.
Kamala.
Well, the other part is he said garbage for Puerto Rico, which then caused Biden to say it about Trump supporters. So, yeah, one could say one led to the other on that. But does that change anybody's minds at all, you think? No. Either of these? Probably not.
I doubt it.
I don't think so. I
think we were all hoping for something big, usually it's a scandal, right? Like when Trump ran, it was the grab her by the pussy thing. Remember that with Access Hollywood and Billy Bush? That was the big October surprise, and then the Comey thing as well. You could say that, but we haven't had any of those groundbreaking moments. Even the thing where her husband, Doug Emhoff, slapped that lady around. That never resonated and didn't really become a full-blown story for anyone that cared.
Wasn't there a story at the beginning of the month they tried to drag Trump through? It didn't last long. It was like 12 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was another fucking model from 80 years ago. He fucking...
There was that. And then the whole Nazi thing.
Yeah.
Where he said he needs Nazi generals.
Right. And then Kelly had walked that back. And so none of it's really stuck. I don't think we have that big moment.
I think this election is like a football game, right? It's not going to be won with big flashy things. It's in the ground.
Yeah.
It's on the ground.
It is the ground game,
It's in the trenches.
In the words of Donald Trump, it's not the best football.
Yeah. But it's effective as long as you get the W there. Next up, AdWise is ours. It's Drinkin' Bros. DrinkinBros.com. Pull up the site, Bobby.
Yeah, you can get cool shit like this.
Yeah, look at that, dude.
It says, this is my pride flag, and it's our flag.
It's our flag.
The only flag
American
that matters.
flag. But we got all the college merch up there for not only Hard AF. Got all the Drinkin' Bros merch up there. We got glassware. The Bro Box is a monthly subscription, and you can get bomb-ass gifts there. The barbecue bundles up there.
Well, show them that new shirt.
Yeah, I'll pull it up here.
Yeah, we got a new shirt. This is what's going to be in the Bro Box. Actually, they'll start shipping tomorrow, and you have until the 16th of November to sign up for the Bro Box to get this one. Otherwise, it'll slide on to the next
And
month.
the glassware that he put in this one's my favorite.
Yeah, there's two fucking beer mugs or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, the Drinkin' Bros beer mugs are
highball
awesome.
glasses.
God, those are great.
Yeah, they're fucking dope.
Big fan of that. Brandon, if he's listening today, you're doing a great job, dude.
I also gave him a warning order on Jessie Face stuff. We need a Jessie logo of her just to put a big one on a hat.
On a hat?
Yeah,
on a puffy hat?
Yeah,
That'd be funny.
like that, yeah.
A Crime Corner one? Oh, yeah, that would be dope, actually. You could put that on a white hat. That'd be fucking great. But yeah, it all helps, and it helps us support the show. Plus, it's also where you submit for Drinkin' Bro of the Week on there, and that gets emailed to us live. You don't have to buy anything. That's free. So if you're going through some tough times or whatever, dude, yeah, we'll still read everything on here. It's just whatever pops up live on Daddy's computer. Next up, Google. Under Congressional Fire, House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan from Ohio, Repube, is accusing YouTube of potentially repressing former President Trump's interview with podcast host Joe Rogan. In a letter to Alphabet CEO Sundar, what are we calling him? Pikachu as the last name?
Sure, why not?
Why not? Sent late Wednesday, Jordan said that the tech giant's subsidiary appears to have censored the video of Joe Rogan's recent interview with President Donald Trump. We write to seek an immediate briefing on YouTube's decision to censor Joe Rogan's interview with President Trump. That's 1. 2, Google's search elevation of material critical of the interview as well.
Yeah, so I don't know if you notice, if for any of you who haven't been really paying attention to the Rogan Trump interview that was posted on Google, or on YouTube rather, that he always puts his shows on Google now.
Yep.
Or on YouTube now, since that exclusivity
the new Spotify deal,
thing,
yeah.
Not only did they remove it from the search, which I know I actually saw in the chat earlier in this episode, some people were having problems finding us.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Not Tim Kennedy just texted me, I'm a proper fucking gentleman, Dan, in all caps. Asshole. Not only did they demote or make it hard to find and search the episode itself, but when you search for it, they promoted the negative reviews of it.
Yeah.
Which is what they've been doing this whole time. By the way, this is what they got hemmed up for. We talked about it about a month ago, I think. When you search for things like Hunter Biden laptop, this is from the 2000 campaign, right? The Biden campaign. They found all these Zoom meetings where people were just admitting to election interference. They would alter their search results so that Biden senility or Biden senile would show videos of him being clear and present, right? That whatever the opposite of the negative shit towards the Democrats were, they actually had to, because you have to go in and program this shit to happen. It doesn't just happen because of an algorithm. You have to actually manually program this shit.
Correct.
Instead of giving you the result, the real result, and the one that you were looking for, they give you propaganda. That's what Google's doing. And the reason they're able to do that is because of Ronald Reagan.
Why? What did he pass?
The way that we deregulate and the way that we pursue antitrust now is essentially non-existent. I've talked about this before. We've gone from prosecuting 16 major antitrust cases a year to 3. In 2014, the year that Google bought DoubleClick, which is their fucking vertically integrated ad service that we all run into all the time, AdSense, that we call it now. 2014, under Obama, 0. Not one antitrust suit by the federal government, not one.
Interesting.
Yep. That's why we have 4 airlines, 4 phone companies, 5 major military industrial complex companies. Maytag controls 75% of the home retail market, so on and so forth.
Yeah. I know for us, like to give you a perfect example of what they're doing to Rogan, they did it to us on the 2020 election. We had Alex Jones as a guest on that night. The second the episode ended, you could not search it anywhere. You had to spell it out word for word. I mean, letter for letter, even caps, like the cap marks and everything, and the episode number, the hyphen. I mean, if it all wasn't included identical, you could not find the video to this day, which, I don't know, we got, I want to say 300,000 views that night or something. Yeah. And to this day, good luck finding it because you don't know how I spelled it in there during that, or Delco or whoever listed it that night. You have to go in and find it word for word. So, like, I think afterwards, it's only gotten 508 views in like 4 years.
Well, this is how crazy and I would say evil the establishment left in this country is. And I think it probably extends beyond the establishment left into all these other people who have joined forces with them, the Cheneys, the Bushes, all these dicks, the Kensingers. New York Times and Media Matters put out, I mean, we talked about the preamble to it, which are the text messages sent to Tucker and Shapiro and some of these other people. New York Times and Media Matters ran the story this morning, finally, and it's them essentially demanding that Google kick Tim Pool and Mike Davis and Benny Johnson and Kash Patel, Shapiro, Carlson, Giuliani, RFK, so on and so forth, off of Google entirely.
Yes.
For misinformation.
Yep.
Right? So we've got evidence that Google is doing everything wrong already to keep Trump from getting into power. And the New York Times and Media Matters response to that is, you guys aren't doing enough. You're not doing enough.
Yeah.
That's who these people are. Not one time in the history of human beings has the side trying to censor the other side been right, or on the right side of history, or even good people. They are your fucking enemy. All of these people are your fucking enemy.
And then for us, for Drinkin' Bros, we got an episode deleted of fake news 3 weeks ago where Dan was criticizing FEMA, and rightfully so, about their slow response time in North Carolina and everything that was going on there. They deleted that video, and the reasoning was they said that Dan was cyberbullying people on that, so they removed it entirely.
How could you cyberbully a federal agency?
And we got a strike on the channel, so if you get 3 strikes, you're out, same as baseball there. And you know, it's just criticism of a federal agency. The last time it happened before that was when we were going to have RFK on in, was it 21 or 22? It was during the height of COVID.
I think it was 22.
And we got a last minute call from the publicist saying, hey, we have to cancel this. And this is before pre-Trump, pre-running for office, obviously anything, because they did not agree with his stance on the COVID vaccine. And they said if we ran the interview, they would delete the entire channel. So not just the show, the channel itself. And we had to cancel the interview. It's been going on for a while. It sucks. And we were even talking about this with Jank yesterday of like, open it up to both sides, man. It's not even right or left. Like, open it up to all the sides. Let people decide on their own. And if you're Google and YouTube, here's what I just can't figure out. Money's money at the end of the day, and it seems like that's all those motherfuckers care about anyway. So why wouldn't you just monetize all of it?
Well, that's
and
like,
let people decide.
Sure, I mean, but they're not trying to make today's money. They're trying to make tomorrow's money. And the way that Google stays in power is to bet on the people who are going to bet on them, to let them maintain their monopoly. That's it.
But one of the big things that I'm personally hoping about when Trump gets in, if he wins on Tuesday, is that, like,
we should absolutely break up Google. Like Meta and Google have to go. You can part these out and make them separate companies that work together and shit like that, but they cannot be the same company. Can't be allowed.
And the weird thing is, you have the evidence behind the scenes. Remember the guy who invented Instagram? He leaked those emails from Zuckerberg, bullying him into selling Instagram to him, and he says, if you don't do this, I'll just create another one. So here's your shot, and here's the dollar amount I'm going to give you. I'm not going a dollar fucking higher, and I want this. You're going to sell it to me, or I'm just going to recreate it and butt fuck you. And the guy sold his company. I don't even know how much Instagram would be worth today.
Well, he got $1 billion for it.
He got $1 billion, but like in today's standards, Jesus Christ. I mean, these guys are getting 10, 20 for this shit. Like,
Instagram is worth $200 billion right now.
Oh my God. Are you kidding?
Yeah, well, the only argument I would make with that is how much of that value added was because of Zuckerberg, though. Now, would it be worth more than $1 billion today?
Instagram
was
wildly popular.
Wildly popular. And look at TikTok. Like, nobody... That was one of the few apps that came out of nowhere that was just like...
But it's hard to say without Facebook ad service. Yes, that's the, like, just tying it in with Facebook's ad platform probably would have increased the valuation quite a bit. But I mean, they could have figured that out.
Here's a better comp. In fact, I think this is a perfect comp.
Okay,
because this is one Zuckerberg couldn't buy. Snapchat. It's worth $20 billion.
Why couldn't he buy it?
They wouldn't sell.
Yeah, they just
wouldn't.
Oh, really?
They wouldn't do it. But he wanted Snapchat, and that's why there's Instagram stories and all that stuff. And you know, they replicated that pretty decently, but Snapchat's still Snapchat.
Is it still popular?
Is it?
Okay.
I mean, it's publicly traded too, so the stock is its what do you call it? Product at this point, just like any publicly traded company.
Gotcha. Okay.
And its stock, it peaked at like $75 a couple years ago. It's at $12 now, but it's worth $20 billion. So would Instagram still be worth something? Yes, but I think it's totally inaccurate to say it would still be worth as much if it was not connected.
Maybe not 200 billion, but it's quite a bit more popular user base wise than Snapchat by a pretty wide margin.
But
too.
even that, I'm like,
well, the point is though, Bob, the guy didn't want to sell.
Yeah, I know. He got bullied into being a billionaire.
Look, we can say that, right? But like, there's other people who believe in their companies and they want to keep going. The dude from Beatbox who's not selling his company.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not saying Zuckerberg's a good guy or anything, but it is like I wonder how much of that value is from Zuckerberg taking it when he was still kind of like peak Zuck. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, look, it helps, but Homeboy didn't want to sell it, so it is what it is. I know it's hard to feel bad for a billionaire, obviously, but if he loved it, and he wanted to sell the fucking thing, whatever. Next up, Hamas rejects ceasefire. Hamas on Thursday rejected a new proposal brokered by Qatar, Egypt, and the U.S. for a 30-day ceasefire in Gaza. The proposal would have seen the release of a small number of Israeli hostages, but no withdrawal of forces from the Strip, Middle East Eye reported. Hamas has insisted instead on a permanent end to the conflict that has been raging for 13 months, killing more than 40,000 people in Gaza. The idea of a temporary pause in the war only to resume aggression later is something we have already expressed our position on. Senior leader of the Hamas told the AFP.
Well, what he actually said was, "Oh, look." Certainly, he wasn't that articulate.
By the way, a lot of big comments about having that racial stereotype soundboard. People are all in on that.
Yeah,
with the songs.
I mean, obviously they are.
Man, that was on fire in Drinkin Bros. Man,
just the very lowest level, and I don't mean negative lowest level. I mean like the base level of comedy is just making fun of each other.
That's it.
That's like the most important part of comedy, actually, because it's self-aware and it's inclusive. It includes everybody. You talk shit about everybody, right? That way everybody feels like they're part of it. Bob, get your fucking shit together.
Yeah, get your shit together. And it was a fun one.
People
love that show. That one did really well.
Garbage, like the title says.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're all garbage.
Yeah, you were all garbage. Well, I mean, Carlin said you were all diseased. That was his 92
special.
I think it was 92.
Yeah.
HBO special. Yeah. So this guy, Al Nunya, senior leader of Hamas, says we support a permanent end to the war, not a temporary one. So they will only accept negotiation with a permanent end of the war. Or, and I'm just spitballing here, you could release the civilian hostages that you've had for over a year, you fucking mutt. How about that?
But that's the only thing that they have left bargaining-wise.
Yeah. I mean, they've made a very critical error. So hopes that the conflict would kind of abate a little bit after they killed Sinwar, after Israel killed Sinwar early this month, quickly faded. That was a pipe dream, I think. And I don't mean from the Israeli side. I mean from the Palestinian side, because Netanyahu said they have no interest in reaching the day after the war. Like they want to end Hamas forever. International tension grew further this week after Israeli parliament voted to ban UNRWA. That's the UN organization with 7 or 12 employees, I believe, were working for Hamas. It's a UN organization. They banned them from the country and launched another airstrike that killed another 90 people. Amid the escalation, there have been a few visible or viable off-ramps to prevent the world's most volatile region from getting worse, an analyst wrote for the Wilson Center think tank. I think rejecting this ceasefire is a really bad idea for Hamas. Like they're counting on Israel buckling to the international pressure. What did Israel do last week? They fucking bombed Iran.
Yeah.
It's over, dude.
Yeah.
Like there is no more negotiating to be done. You either fucking You ride the ship, you ride the fucking ship through the iceberg and down to the bottom of the ocean, or you fucking get off and surrender. Those are your two options at this point. And I don't care. Doesn't affect me or my life or my country. I don't give a shit. I care about shipping lanes and Suez that are making my fucking prices higher and shit like that. And I don't want unnecessary loss of life or any of that other bullshit. But you fucking wanted this.
Yeah.
You picked this fight, and now you're asking the international community to come save you when you won't do the one thing that could save you, which is just release those hostages. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to have, I'm empathetic about just ordinary people who get caught up in bullshit, but it's hard to have empathy for Palestinian leadership or Hamas or Iran or Hezbollah or any of these countries. They know what they need to do to stop this.
One question that a listener sent me, and he wanted me to ask you this, was do you, Dan, support, because there is American hostages, I guess?
They're they're Israelis that have American citizenship, but they're not Americans.
Okay, so
they're not. It's not like somebody that lived in Baltimore was just over there at the party and they're a hostage. No, it's people that lived in Israel.
Okay, gotcha. Because he was asking if you were in support if we sent over a small team, either Biden-Harris administration or potentially Trump administration, to get the American citizens out of there. So I said I'd ask.
Yeah, under the right circumstances, you know. I mean, we would have to have the intelligence. Any tier 1 operator will tell you this. One of the things that makes them so good at their job is, aside from the training and the innate skill that they had, or innate talent that they had, and then turned into skill after years and years of training, hundreds of thousands of rounds. Certainly, I'm not trying to marginalize the effort it takes to become a tier 1 operator, but one of the things that makes them so successful is all the assets around them, right? Mm-hmm. One of those being intelligence, knowing exactly what you're walking into, right? And if they don't have something like that, then I would say, I mean, like I support it in principle, but only under the right conditions.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha, that makes sense. And then would they give that information up is the other thing, you know?
Well, I mean, we could come about that information some other way. I don't mean from Israel necessarily. Look, we're pretty good at collecting intelligence globally sometimes, but, you know, if we found out where American citizens were being held hostage, I would absolutely support Delta going in there, fucking killing everybody.
Okay.
And salting the earth behind it, yeah. All right. Got no problem with
that. Now's the point in the show. We get to the Drinkin' Bro of the week. Like I told you earlier, you can submit at drinkinbros.com. Comes into us live here on air. This was 19 minutes ago. Man, you guys are on it. Drinkin' Bro submission, Justin Yoris. Spelled that out for me. Thank you. From Mesa, Arizona. Been listening since the 3rd episode. He's also asking to bring back Iconoblast. All those guys are doing Crime Corner now together. So same dudes, different show over there. And he's nominating Ashley Smurf Yoris, Living. Says, happy 3rd anniversary to my amazing wife. 10/31, which is today, Halloween. My drinking broette, riding broette, shooting broette, great dog mom to our 2 German shepherds and our asshole corgi. She also books my custom car fabrication business, puts up with my absolute dumb behavior and lunatic riding style, as well as me usually listening to podcasts while doing tasks around the house, not paying attention to her. Here's to many more years to come and more anniversaries. Love you, babe. And saying, hey, if you could simulcast with some of the Tim Pool and some other guys on election night, that'd be rad. It'd be cool to see all you guys together. No, that'll be tough tech-wise. We're live from a bar. So we're at WTF. We are not in the traditional studio here. So there'll be...
I mean, if you come to the show with a cast on, we'll fucking sign it.
Absolutely. And we'll put Simul on it. Like, that's how I'll spell that.
Speaking of that, Austin Talley hit me up and said Nate Boyer's probably going to swing by.
Oh, shit. I haven't seen Nate.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Nate since Range 15.
Well, he lives around here now.
Does he really?
Yeah. So he saw him at the VA. They were both doing VA appointments.
I love Nate.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
And Jared texted him, told him to come. So he'll probably drop by too. It's going to be a lot of people.
Tons. Yeah, tons of
the
people.
Best
there.
people.
Yeah, all the best people. Best show, best simulcast. Bigly huge. It's going to be awesome. Looking forward to it. And we always love doing live shows because we get to hang with you guys in person, which is cool. And then we'll bring you up on stage, in and out throughout the night there because it's a long one. It's typically a 6-hour show. Hopefully it'll be an early one. Maybe we know by 11. That would be great. Here's my hopes and dreams. We know at 11, speech by 11:30, blackout drunk at midnight, and then we party till 2 or whenever they shut the bars down in Austin, and we rage.
Oh, so you were asking earlier about what bigger campaign events are coming up for Kamala. This is breaking, actually.
Okay.
Cardi B this Friday in Milwaukee.
All right. That's a big one.
She's going to do Wet Ass Pussy.
Yeah.
And people in Milwaukee are going to vote.
People love Cardi B. Her following is disgusting, dude. It's wild.
I can't imagine anybody's going to vote because of something Cardi B says.
You never know. Do you remember Cardi B had fucking Bernie Sanders on?
Yeah. Here's what I think should happen.
Instagram Live in 2020.
Do you know what a Heidi How is? Mm-mm. A Heidi How survey. How did you hear about us? Heidi How, right?
Yeah.
An acronym. It's something we do in marketing all the time, just to to kind of dial in your marketing funnel to see where traffic's coming from for attribution's sake. Anyways, I think we should have one at the end of every ballot. Like what public figure was the most influential in you deciding how you were going to vote? And if it's somebody other than the candidate, your vote goes in the trash. You fucking mongoloid. Well, fucking tennis star Steffi Graf said, like, oh my God, boom.
Yeah.
Or maybe your ballot just explodes like Inspector Gadget, like a fucking Israeli text code comes through and blows the beeper up or something.
Well, it's not
because you're a fucking dummy.
It's not mainstream media either. I mean, that shouldn't.
No, it's got to be the candidate.
Yeah.
If the candidate themselves didn't convince you how to vote, fuck you.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah. If they didn't say all the things you wanted and everything else, yeah. But it's been a fun one all the way around, at least with, getting out of traditional media and more into our world and other worlds that are happening.
So today's Halloween. Mm-hmm. How many people let's say over under of how many celebrities, athletes, musicians, actors, whatever, get canceled because of their Halloween costume? Some people are going to take some risks.
It already happened. It already happened. Is Bob back there?
Is anybody going to dress up like a pager that's been blown up?
Is Bob back there?
Because that would be really
No, he's
funny.
on the call with my bookie.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
The guy that got canceled today was Ryan Clark. Did you see what happened?
What did he do? Ryan Clark's like the most liberal dude ever.
Yeah, he painted himself white, and he was Bill Belichick, and people were fucking going nuts today. Pull it up.
Who cares? I mean, does he look funny? Is it funny?
Not sure.
Who cares? I mean, I guess if somebody had gone in blackface, he would have been the first in line to call him racist. So, fair enough. But that's dumb. Come on.
But I was flooded.
Can we
with that
please
this
just
morning.
make fun of each other?
Just type in Ryan Clark, Bill Belichick. I know Bob's not here. Why the fuck is Bob taking that call now? Like that could have happened.
Well, I don't think it's going to be on
10
Ryan
minutes.
Clark's page, probably.
No, not anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't just pop up under Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark, Belichick. Belichick is a hard word to spell. I know because as a Falcons fan, I was typing it over and over again to see if he accepted the thing. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty funny.
I didn't have, and as a white person, I had zero problem with this at all. Don't care. I think it's fucking hilarious.
Well, I mean, what if you're a young white kid and your hero is Michael Jordan? Isn't that kind of mission success for a post-racial society?
Yeah.
That the white child that wants to look like Jordan, be like Mike. I mean, that's one of the biggest marketing campaigns in the history of the world.
And what I love about this in particular was Ryan Clark has been very vocal about more black coaches being hired. And then the one he dresses up as for Halloween is Bill Belichick and goes white. So I got a chuckle out of it as a white dude.
I think it's hilarious.
I said, oh, I don't fucking care, but they're going after him, saying cancel all this shit.
No, fuck that.
Don't cancel him.
No, leave him.
We're not doing that.
Leave him alone.
Yes.
He's an idiot, but leave him alone.
Leave him alone. There's zero
Fucking
problem
stupid.
with this
We're
whatsoever.
not doing that. We're not doing that bullshit.
But yes, to your point, tomorrow, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait for Twitter tomorrow.
Tomorrow, somebody's going to fuck up.
Yeah, it'll be good. And,
Who did we do on RPR the other day, Delco?
Well, that's Myles Garrett.
This is Myles Garrett.
He actually spent like fucking $25,000 on a Hollywood quality.
I love it. Are people going after him?
And people were kind of jokingly saying it was racist, but I don't think anybody took it seriously.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah, I don't care about anybody wants to paint themselves white. I don't give a shit.
Or yellow, or brown, black.
You're going to
purple.
have to ask that race.
No, I don't know.
For my race, I
Nope.
can speak for. I don't give a shit.
I can speak for everybody when I say I don't give a shit. Fuck you.
Yeah, but it was who did we do on RPR the other day, Delco? The guy that was black and then the girlfriend was white. What costume was that?
I don't know.
It was a fraternity kid.
Oh, the kid was not. Oh, he was in blackface.
Yeah. But what was he doing? What was the bit? Because that kid got canceled. Oh, that's right. It was Diddy, and she was dressed up as a bottle of lube.
That's funny.
But the blackface really got him in trouble there. So yeah,
I'm not.
He went like black marker on the face.
Yeah, it was like shoe polish or something maybe. But yeah, I don't care. I have zero problem with it. Ryan Clark, just know this. I don't give a fuck at all, and I don't want you to be canceled for it. That's stupid.
What if you?
I don't want anybody to lose their job.
Here's what you guys should do. Let's create some confusion out there. So, dress up like Steve Harvey, but then just say it's Mr. Potato Head. because they look exactly the same.
It's identical.
I mean, like literally, it's the same guy. They're both brown.
Same thing.
Yeah. So Mr. Potato Head with the configuration that looks like Steve Harvey, obviously the glasses and the mustache, or maybe even just the mustache. He doesn't always wear the glasses. And then when anybody asks, like, no, I'm a fucking potato, man.
Yeah.
I'm Irish. I'm dressed up like a fucking potato. You're stealing my culture.
Don't hijack my culture.
Yeah, you piece of shit.
Have fun out there tonight, kids. Happy Halloween to everybody. It's a welcome break from all the election bullshit tonight. So enjoy it. If you got kids, have fun. It's one of the greatest nights of the year out there. And we appreciate you tuning in. Go to iTunes, rate the show a 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to Spotify. Just a 5-star, and you can walk away. For D'Anthony Hollaway, I'm Ross Patterson.